What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over one of my favorite exercises, and it's the landmine. We're going to go through different variations, and I just want to talk about one of the many reasons why I like to use a landmine. First of all is you being able to work on stability, shoulder stability. Second is the rotational work, and the last one is the variations that you can do with training changes up the whole game. So today's workouts are just gonna be meant for that reason. All right, so the first one that we're gonna be going over today is the staggered RDL. Now, before I even start touching the bar, I wanna show you this. I'm gonna go from here and I'm gonna put my heel where my toe is at, and I'm gonna give myself the separation where my hips are gonna be directly onto my toes, right? So I'm aligned in that format, but I'm now gonna use my barbell as a way to follow my leg. When you do this, typically a lot of times it can be mistaken that you're using the barbell and you're going in front. This is a mistake because you're positioning your lower back where all the weight is shifting forward. Let's use our hips, and one way by doing that is by shifting our hips back. Notice the difference when I go here and I go down, and opposed to going here and going this way. So let's stay tight to the body and let's stretch those hamstrings out. So what I like to do, I come here, I get staggered, I get in my position, right here, nice and firm. I'm looking straight ahead and I'm keeping my back flat. I'm standing up, I'm feeling with the weight out. I'm gonna come, load, come back up, boom. When I come to the top, I'm squeezing at the top. Boom, nice. Good, I like to get 3 reps there. Now I want you guys to get it back for you. I'm gonna turn around and do the same thing. Look how I'm doing this. I'm coming up, look at that back leg. Look what I'm doing. I'm shifting back and I'm squeezing at the top. I'm squeezing with the right glute. Boom, one more. And all the way to the top. This is the step 1 of the next progression that we're gonna do, okay? The next progression is gonna be the single leg RDL, okay? We already did stationary, now we're gonna go single. So similar to the same format, I'm coming here, I'm setting up the same. I'm gonna come up, boom. Now when I do this, I'm having to load all the weight on this leg. And I'm going down, coming back up, squeezing, nice. Find the balance, find all the balance. Bam. When you're doing this, you wanna make sure that you're not shifting your weight all the way to one side or all the way to the other side. You wanna distribute it nice and light. So you're gonna feel it in your glutes and in your hamstring. Now I'm gonna come to the back side so you guys can see. Notice my leg. Sometimes my leg wants to open up and go in this position where the toe is pointing out. That external rotation of the hip is something that we're trying to minimize, because what we want is our hips to stay square as we do the motion. We don't want to open up like this when you want to stay nice and tight here. Okay, so here I go to do the other side. Here, I'm going straight back. Right there. Reach, come back up fast. Good. Way to be powerful. And stand up. That was our second progression, okay? So we went staggered. We went RDLs. Now let's go with what was on next, okay? Next one, it's gonna be here. I'm putting my arms straight. So when I do this is gonna be an overhead snatch squat. When you do these, you have to be very cautious of your elbows and your wrist. Your elbows don't wanna be bent like this. You wanna lock your elbow out and you want your wrist to be secure. When you're in this position, I do not want you to be like this. Stay like this, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna use this momentum coming on down. You're gonna touch the floor. Notice how both of my knees are out. I'm not caving in one side, and I'm coming all the way to the top. The benefits of this is there's a lot of shoulder stability going on here. Instead of opposing to press up, I'm pressing to the side in the scapular plane, okay? So I'm here, I'm controlling it. I'm going back down, boom. See this? Everything's about control. Everything's about control. If you don't have the stability yet, line up the weight. So what I want you guys to pay attention to before I go on to the other side is that I'm going to be using my boxer muscle, my serratus anterior. When I'm doing this, I want to push out. I don't want all the load on my shoulder. I want to push out. That way I'm using my scaps, okay? And that deep inner serratus anterior, okay? Now I'm here, notice my hips, I'm falling down nice and easy, and I'm just coming straight up. You should feel that all the weight on this side is being transferred from this wrist onto this hip. All that weight, but I'm coming down nice and controlled and come back out, okay? Now that was the first progression of that. Now let's transfer and let's do something different, okay? I want you to pay attention to something. When I'm doing rotation, okay? When I'm doing rotation, I'm able to use my trunk more. I'm using my obliques a lot more. So I'm gonna rotate and I'm gonna cause a little bit of an oblique stretch, but that transfer of power is gonna allow me to go on to get more range of motion. So I'm gonna come here, same exercise. The only thing that changes is that there's gonna be a movement at the cervical spine. So here, I'm gonna use my chin and I'm looking as I'm going. What's happening here? I'm using my core, but I'm also stretching those obliques and I'm getting more thoracic rotation. Back up. Back up. It changes the exercise completely. This motion right here is my favorite because you get so much range of motion and much more mobility at this weight. Being able to do this with weight allows you to work on flexibility as well because you're being loaded when you're doing the motion and allows you to get into deeper stretches. Here I go doing the other side. A lot more range of motion on here. Okay, so all these motions, all these movements that I was doing just now, from the RDL, single leg RDL, and everything we transferred on over, is just a combination of things that I like to do to progress into this position. It's something really easy to do, but you have to work at it, okay? So this is our first progressional series of landmine work. I'm gonna show you the second one just now. Stay tuned.